Bill sent me a message saying, "Oh, you finally figured out audio editing," because he didn't know. He thought I'd done it myself. So I thought, well, okay. If it fools him, it's got to be good.
Well, the thing is, if you use that normalizing, you don't have to do anything on Audacity because that just automatically, with whatever AI nonsense they're using, brings everybody's microphone levels up, to a comparative sort of waveform size or what have you. Okay. I wanted to show. We were talking about where Image puts the photos that get uploaded either through the web interface or automatically through the app. And I was interested in finding where it hid them. Or, yeah, well, I say hide because they kind of are hidden as far as I'm concerned, because I'm going to share my screen here. Because you got to go looking for these things. Let's see. Okay. That's SSHN. All right, there's my server. I'm going to
You have a couple images there, don't you?
Well, it comes with several containers. It
Yeah, it
sets
comes
up.
as 4 containers.
Yeah, it's got like machine learning running and everything like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, so right there in the image directory, you've got backups, encoded video, library, profile, thumbs, and upload. And you're thinking, okay, well, it must be in library. So let's. Nothing. Okay. Let's try backups.
Oh yeah, I found it on mine.
So it's like these are the backups of the
Yeah.
database. So no,
Yeah.
not that. Let's try
So
upload.
you can't access them easily, can you?
Not really.
Unless you go into the image.
So here's the upload folder. And like I said, you've got these 3 folders that are just long hashes of letters and
Yeah.
numbers. Let's just pick one. 5F. LS in that folder. Look at that.
Yeah.
This is the kind of thing iTunes used to do whenever you would import your music into it. And let's just pick one. 7C. Now let's do more of these folders. CD. Now I'm in that one. There, finally, an image. An image that's been renamed, by the way, inside of their system, because that is not a naming convention that I use for my photos by any means. So yeah, once it's on there, I'm sure they've got some export feature that you can get them off in a way that makes sense to use somewhere else. But I don't know why they're dividing your photos up like this. The only thing I can think of is because the machine learning associates photos.
Yeah.
By,
it will be.
like they'll have photos grouped together that have people in them, the same people. That way it's easier to go and search and say, look, give me all the photos that have my mom in them, or for example, or give me all the photos that have a dog in them, and it knows.
Yeah, no, but it's also got stuff like review duplicates and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I've just done that now, and it's already found a duplicate. I mean, I've only got the most recent photos from my phone on there just because I was testing it out. Joe, you managed to get old ones on, you said.
Yeah, all I did was map a drive location.
Where?
Okay, I pointed it out. What is it? Account settings? No, settings. Okay.
This is in the GUI
Hold
of
on.
image.
Share your
the GUI, yeah.
screen. Let's see. Image. Can you see mine?
That's what she said. Yes, I can.
Okay.
You want to see mine?
Okay, so it was just, click here, click, what was it? Administration, and then settings, and then external library.
We can't see what you're doing, or I can't.
I can.
Are you sharing it with Are you sharing it with everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to click to start the stream.
I did. Yo.
No, I mean
He
for
has to
Bill.
click.
No, I don't see anything. All I see is you guys.
External libraries, which is below settings.
So that
I guess,
means
and then
everybody on YouTube can't see it.
I see.
if you don't have it brought up,
It's not even showing up as an option for me.
It pops up as another one of our windows.
Yeah, yeah, and
has-
you have to,
Yeah,
you have
has
to
a-
click the.
Let me
Has a
show you
picture
what
of a
I'm seeing.
monitor.
Yeah, I see it.
you have to click the live there.
Right there is what I'm seeing.
Should be able to see mine, which is, if I click on mine, I can see it.
Yeah. That was in admin settings, wasn't it?
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, I went
Yeah.
administration,
And then external library.
external libraries, and then I
Ah,
added this.
okay.
So you can create library,
Yeah.
and then what I did was edit import path, and then that's where I put the mount.
Okay, I haven't seen this yet.
The mount meaning.
Okay, so at LXC, much like a Docker instance, you'd have to mount a volume, right? So I mounted a share on the LXC, and then I had to follow the path that was created, mount share pick. So this is actually mounted to a Samba, which is, I believe, share 4, which then has a folder in it called pick. So
It just has to be a folder that's mounted that image has access to.
exactly.
So if okay.
You have to mount a volume, and then remember the path that you used for that mount, along with the path inside of that mount that has the picture location.
You should be able to just put in the path to the directory that you've got the photos in. You should be able to get access to that.
Yes,
Yes.
that's what I've tried.
But you have since he's doing it in Docker, he has to mount it to a specific location in Docker and then point it along that path.
You have to bind mount it.
You can put a bind mount in the Docker Compose. So
Yes.
and then bind it to wherever you want in the Docker Compose, and then put where you bound it to in this interface.
Right.
That's probably confusing.
And I will say that, it like when you're adding a path, it doesn't actually see anything. So you do have to have it memorized.
Yeah.
So it's not like anything comes up to let me know that I'm on the right path. It doesn't tell you that until
You've done it.
you've
Yeah.
done it, and it gives you either a green or a green check or a red X.
So let me.
There's a subfolder I could have picked that's inside of pick called camera roll, but because there's a space, I don't know how it sees it versus how Linux normally sees a space, because I tried the backslash before the space and that did not work.
So let me show you where you would do this. All right, so I'm going to SSH into the same server. And then I'm going to all right, so go down to your volumes and then put it right here. Like for example, I'd want to bind, I don't know, /pool to somewhere in some location that would be in the container, like /mount. Now, the next time I would start up the container, that my pool directory, which is the big hard drives, the entire thing would be mounted inside that container.
Right.
In your case, you would have wherever your photos are mounted to maybe just put them in /mount, because you wouldn't be using that for anything else, I wouldn't think.
Let me start the appointment. So you've written /pool to /mount. Okay. Let's try that out. Let's see if that makes a difference. Do I have to
Where it's coming from on the left of the colon to where it's going to on the right of the colon.
Okay.
And make sure you get all your spaces right, because it's YAML.
Okay. So where I'm starting from, yeah, to, and what is it that I put as the? Sorry, what was it that I put as the second one?
Wherever you want to put it, you can put it in /mount, because that's something that exists.
Okay.
And it probably wouldn't be used for anything else. Or you could make a.
Would I have to?
Go
I
ahead.
was going to say, would I have to bring the Docker image down and then put it back up again?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. See, I have learned something. Not much, but something.
Tech support brought to you by
Phil
mintCast.
Hauser. Now I'm putting it back up. Okay. Now let's have a look.
And I know I've mentioned it before, but I'm going to mention it again. This does not create a backup. It does not load things onto your image. It just gives image access to that location, and then it makes that location accessible from your image screen.
Yeah, it's not actually written in two places. It's like a symbolic link, really.
Yeah.
I suppose.
And so then all I need to do is just do that external library. Just
If you want to share your screen.
Yeah. Okay.
Put the mount /mount, not the one on the left of the colon.
Yeah.
The one
So
on
that's
the
what
right.
I've just done. Hold on, let me
Because
put-
that's the only thing image can see, is everything on the right of that.
So if I, on my TrueNAS scale behind me, the big tower that you see over my thing there, the files, I have a backup on my ReadyNAS, which you can't see because it's on the lower level behind my chair here in the entertainment center.
Right.
So if I point, when I install the image, then I can point like how Joe did it on his. I could point it to the folders that I have on the storage server, because I have a sync thing that will replicate between the two of them, so I can keep my existing folder
Anything
structure
that's accessible to the host system
yeah.
can be bound in the Docker Compose and then made accessible to the container.
So if I take a picture on my phone, like I'm out at work and I take a picture of where I'm at, sync thing sends it up to my NAS. My NAS will then send it to my storage server, and then that will automatically show up an image because it's pulling from that folder.
Yeah, depending on what you have mounted. So as a Samba share or whatever, you have to mount the share and then mount it to whatever Docker or LXC that you're using.
Oh yes, yes! Finally,
Did it work? Did it work?
23,000 photos and 1,800 videos found. Brilliant!
You're welcome.
Thank you very much, lads.
That's
I can
cool.
die happy. Actually, it's a bit sad thing to say.
Go click on image now and make sure that they're actually there, because that's a really small size. I mean, 23 meg.
It's gone up to 4 gig now.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
It's
Let's
still
have a look.
processing all the images.
Oh,
Yeah,
it'll
I
take a
think-
while
yes,
because it'll put all that
Oh,
machine
yeah.
learning on it.
Oh yeah, it's gone all the way back to 2008. Don't you
It'll
just
process it
love?
all. Just take some time.
Oh. Okay. All right. Nice one. Thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah, no
That has
worries.
been really helpful.
Now
I
you can
get
apply
it.
that knowledge to a lot of things with Docker, though. That whole concept of binding
Multiple
directories
things.
outside of the container inside of the container.
Yeah.
This is useful when the container needs access to stuff outside itself, but it's also useful to give containers hardware enablement, like with Jellyfin, for example. One of the things you have to do to get hardware acceleration working is you have to bind the /DRI folder
Yeah.
inside the container. And
Yes.
it's the exact same thing. It gives them access to that directory because in Linux everything is a file, including the hardware, and this is how you give it access to those things. This is how you get to love Docker, is when you start to get this shit to work.
No, I am seeing why people like it now. I do get it.
And me too. It's a little bit to wrap your head around. I mean, I knew some of it just because of my stuff that I've done on my own home lab and stuff over the years, but it's just the nomenclature that it uses for like the bind mounts and that. It's sort of similar to like Samba, where you're taking files from here, but you're hosting it, or presenting it over here so that the clients think it's here, but it's actually
I've
over
always,
here.
yeah, and I know what you mean by that. I've kind of dismissed Samba because I've always thought of that as a Windows technology that we've shoehorned into Linux, and that's not necessarily fair because it was.
If I could get NFS working right, I'd move away from Samba too.
Yeah.
Yeah, NFS can be a pain sometimes.
Yeah. Well, good, Majid. Look at Majid smiling. Aren't you glad you came over?
I am indeed.
I had to
man,
talk
I am
him into
indeed.
coming over because he was looking tired.
If you only had your torch on, we'd see your eyes better. And
Okay. Oh god. Yeah. You know what? I did remember that as well, and then I got obviously all this excitement has completely got to me, and so yeah.
but yeah, I'm happy for you. It's a good feeling solving technical problems.
It is. I mean, to be honest, that's why the only reason I began using Arch was just because you get addicted to that feeling of getting things working that only smart people know how to do.
Superiority.
They're
We're well aware of it. We hear it in your voice.
if you get to feeling a little too superior, go get on the Arch forums because there's always somebody there to bring you down a peg
Always
or two.
an asshole to tell you that you're doing it wrong.
Yeah. Well, why are you using that? You should be using this.
RTFM.
Yeah.
Do it my way.
Right.
It's like the feeling of using Debian for so many years and having a new motherboard and trying to figure out what driver that sound card uses. And I remember the first time I was a latecomer to Ubuntu, because I was still using some of the esoteric, ones like Slackware and some other ones.
Yeah.
But the first time I used Ubuntu was 10.04, and I remember I ejected the CD. Yeah, yes, CD. back then. And this was like 2010, I think. And I ejected the CD, rebooted the computer, and I heard, "Ba-da-ba." I'm like, drums. There's sound.
Oh,
I
the
didn't have to do
Ubuntu
anything.
startup sound? Yeah.
It's like the sound works. I didn't do anything. Wow.
I remember the first time I stopped hearing that. Like they must have at some point decided, because Mint used to have a startup sound, or it still
thinking it was
does, but it was like a ching kind of bone decalcifying sound.
I think it was 14. It was either 14.04 or 16.04. I think is when they stopped. I think because I think it was 10.04, 12.04, and I think it
used
could
to be one of the first things I did was go turn off those sounds.
Yeah, because the Ubuntu one wasn't bad, but the one on Mint, if you had little bitty tinny speakers on like a laptop or something, it was really painful when it started up. So I'm happy they still use them. If you turn up your system sounds, it still has a startup sound.
Well, wasn't it Vista or XP? The one that was dun 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 dun. It was like that chime that just went on for like 20, 30 seconds.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, they all had a startup sound. I just don't. They stopped at some point too, didn't they?
Yeah, because Apple, I had a friend that had Apple, and I can always tell when they turn on the computer, could hear bong.
Oh, by the way, Joe, thanks for getting me onto Audio Bookshelf as well. That's a brilliant app as well.
I use it every day.
Fantastic,
Literally
man.
every day.
Yeah, he got me on it a couple years ago, and you don't need anything else really.
No, you don't.
Because
I've
it'll
paid for
really
other apps, and this is the one I use.
The only complaints I've ever heard anybody, and it's lame, they think the interface is outdated. Like, what are you talking about? Well, they don't like the wood, like looks like books sitting on an actual shelf. I'm like, well, who gives a shit? That's what you really want, is the whole thing to work well. You want it to keep track of your books, not lose your place. That's hello, and have some options like speed and bookmarks and stuff like that.
Switch between devices and still maintain your place.
Yes, yeah.
Kind of awesome.
Is there a way of making a user on this that doesn't involve email? Have you ever come across that yet?
Yeah. What, on Audio Bookshelf?
No, I mean, sorry, on Image. Sorry, on Image. For some reason, it keeps asking for an email every time which is fine, no big deal, but just wondered whether I was missing something.
Oops. Come on, get up there, you. This is great for the audio only.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Audio podcast guys.
I'm not going to be able to do that with most of these shows because it's just a lot of this only makes sense in the YouTube. Where the heck is... there we go. Create user. Let's see if it will accept... I'll make a dummy user here.
You sign in with an email address and then a password?
Yeah, that's what I always... Yeah, I do.
I mean, as long as it doesn't need to email the person, I guess, if it's just using that as a username.
Maybe.
Yeah, I tried to just put in a random something or other in the email thing, and I guess not.
All right. Well, anyway. I'm taking the win. Thanks a lot, lads. Now I really need to go to the loo.
Well, you got all kinds of new energy now.
Yes, I do. I do have lots of new energy, I must say. But no. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
I'll catch you guys next week.
Yeah.
Yep.
See ya.
Bye.
Well, that's fantastic. Okay, sign out. Image. Try it out, folks. It is a proper replacement. Well, for a self-hoster, that is proper replacement for Google Photos because it's got all of the things that you like about Google Photos. Somehow, this is a well-developed piece of software. Honestly,
Yeah, I haven't tried out too much of the facial recognition stuff. I've seen it. I've seen it working. I just haven't tried any of it yet.
I took a picture of my daughter and then like put her name on it on the face because it'll ask you who is this, and put her name, and then I had a picture of her at least 700 yards away in a theater where she was playing violin up on stage, and it recognized her face on that photograph.
Wow.
That was pretty impressive.
Yes.
So, and I have no idea what they're using. I assume it's all open source, whatever technology they're using on the machine learning side. And I like that they're calling it machine learning instead of AI. They had to know that if they'd have called it AI, they'd have all of the neckbeards coming out with the pitchforks after them.
I wonder if it's anything with the project. I'm stumbling over my words. I'm trying to remember the name because I'm going to use it on Distar Hoppers. Whisper. Could it be? Does Whisper do more than just audio? Because I think Whisper also does video. I think.
That's a good question.
If I'm not,
You mean Radar?
Well, there's the Whisper project that will do transcription from audio, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I'm thinking it'll do transcription from video.
OpenAI Whisper. Robust speech recognition via large-scale weak supervision. Their GitHub page just seems to be speech recognition. I don't see anything.
Yeah, I thought you had said Whisper at first.
Oh.
That's something else entirely.
No, it's just my inability to speak English after 51 years.
You should look that up, Bill.
What's that?
It's part of an R stack, Whisper.
Whisper. Is it spelled W?
See why I was so confused.
Wiki R. WHISPARR.
See why I was confused?
Whisper is an adult movie collection manager for Usenet and BitTorrent users. It can monitor multiple RSS feeds for new movies and will interface with clients and indexers to grab, sort, and rename them. Let's have a deeper look at this, shall we?
Well, I will endeavor to enunciate better in the future.
I will not take this line down. That's all I got to say. Let's see. I want to see some. Is this a command line tool? Let's see.
It's an R tool, which means it has a web interface.
Oh, okay. Has it got a Docker container? Full integration with Kodi and Plex. Somebody's put some real development time into this. You look at the developers. I have not seen a list of developers this freaking big. There's a lot of people that care about this. and a lot of people are paying. Wow.
Well, it's important content.
Apparently. Project's got 814 stars.
If it wasn't for these types of companies, we wouldn't have streaming video and audio like we do now, because they're the ones that bankrolled a lot of that technology.
The internet is for porn.
I mean, I don't know if it's true to say anymore, but it was at one point you could have made an argument that it was probably the largest amount of content sitting on the web was adult content. And now I'm not so sure. I'm also not so sure that the dark web is bigger than the indexed web that we know, because the indexed web is got Netflix and YouTube on it. And honestly, I don't see how anything, what could be stored on the deep web, on the dark web, that could be that doggone big, and what use would it be on there to anyone?
Well, that does bring up a good question, because, like, on a tangent, you hear about these hacking groups like Lapsus Spider and was it Funky Bear or whatever their names are. They talk about that they extracted like 13 terabytes or so many exabytes from this company over a period of so many months. Where are they storing this? Because you have to figure, on the dark web, you have to figure they have to have some servers somewhere in some of these countries that have got like these petabyte disk arrays. Because you figure if one customer that they extract data from has like they take 13 terabytes from them, and then they go on to the next customer and they extract 30 terabytes from them, you've got to have some infrastructure to store all that stuff. Or they could just be saying that they're doing it and they're actually not doing it and just being malicious and deleting it.
People being full of it? No.
Yeah. You can trust them.
Yeah. The only person I trust with any of this is myself, and that's why I use this Jellyfin and all of these self-hosted things.
Yeah, they're just doing it for the lulz.
Yeah. Oh. Well, what do we want to do next week then?
News?
It was time for news, right? Since we did Wanderings last time.
Should be news.
Right on. I purchased, it'll probably wait till the week after. I've purchased, much to Jim's dismay, I purchased one of those new Fire Sticks. I thought I was going to get it today, but now it's saying Monday, which kind of sucks because I wanted to play with it a little bit this weekend. But I want to see, well, I've got questions. Is it going to be that much different as far as the interface goes? And can I hack it? Can I sideload Kodi on it?
I'm on the lookout for an original Game Boy or Game Boy Color.
Game Boy or Game Boy Color.
I don't want to pay what a lot of people seem to be paying for them. I would like one because I'd like to give one to my foster mom for Christmas. But I also need to get Kirby's Pinball World or Pinball Land or something like that. So I can send that all to her.
Aren't those games on those little emulators that you can get?
Yeah, but she's a little bit older. She's also had a stroke. And I want it to be as familiar to her as possible. And she would appreciate the classic one over a modern emulator.
That's interesting. Somebody that age group would be interested in that.
Oh, her and I used to play that game when I was living at her house, and we would go back and forth, and whoever you basically played until you got the high score, and then handed it to the next person. So that's why I want to get it.
Bill, regarding the Fire TV Select device, did you watch any of the videos of other people playing around with it?
No, I don't want any negativity coming from
Okay.
the ether.
Well,
Because yeah.
I could tell you, just to summarize, it looks exactly, the user interface looks exactly like the existing. It's nothing new. It's just the same thing, but less capable. So unless you're going to be the hacker that figures out how to silo stuff on there, I think you're going to be disappointed.
Is the irony lost, though, that in order to lock this thing down further, they're moving to Linux? Can somebody make that make sense to me? Because eventually somebody is going to have a hack for that, because there's only so many ways to lock down. There's got to be Linux-based software running on that thing to access Netflix, to access Disney Plus, Prime, Hulu, and all that crap.
A lot of the apps that are not already available at launch, which are limited, are going to be web apps. So that's how they're starting for the major streaming platforms and things like that. You're like HBO Max, Peacock, all that kind of stuff. Some of them are already done and available in the App Store. Others are going to be web apps. So yeah, I don't think the fact that it's Linux based is meaningful in any way, unless you really get in there and are technical enough to figure out how to get around everything that they're doing, when we already have existing devices for the same price that are Android based, and it's common knowledge, for anybody that's slightly technically inclined, how to, side load, quote unquote, all the apps you want.
Joe, how much are you wanting to spend on this thing?
Well, I saw that there were also some modern ones that you could still put the cartridges into. I would not mind that, being able to put the original cartridges into it. And I'm not sure. I know I don't want to pay the 120 to 160 that we're looking at for one that works. I did see a couple on eBay that I was thinking about picking up, where they were saying the only issue with them was the speaker, and those were about $50 to $60.
I'm looking at, these are like 80, 85, 109 plus free delivery, mint condition, located in the United States.
Is that eBay?
Yeah.
And some of them, when they say mint condition, you open it up and they still say speaker problems.
Huh. Right here. I'll send it in the general. That's a clean link? Good Lord.
Immaculately refurbished, new shell, new buttons, new rubber contacts, new screen, new lens, new sticker. See, that's just about perfect. And if I remember right, the Game Boy Color played original game.
Yeah, because it's got a... I'm looking at the back of it, and it's got the cartridge bay on the top. That looks brand new, if that's an actual picture of the device itself and not just a
stock photo.
Yeah.
It probably is. They got a video on the second one.
Oh, yeah. And with free shipping, that ain't bad. They're saying it was $146.65.
It's my watch list. Last one, 71 sold.
So has anybody in these videos, have they tried to sideload anything? Have they tried to install Kodi with like
Nope.
a... Yeah, see, that's the first thing I'm going to try and do, and maybe even what doesn't make sense to me is to take Kodi out of the App Store but leave Jellyfin in there, because they're not the same thing, but they are the same kind of
Similar,
people. You know, the difference is with Kodi, you can point it at a Samba share or something and watch. You know, whereas with Jellyfin, you've got to have a server running somewhere.
Yeah, I'm content with the 3 devices I have and the Fire OS TV I have, and that'll get me through the next few years, and we'll see after that.
I'm not going to switch to it. I can't see myself switching to it because I don't know, though, because we're still having trouble with that NVIDIA Shield. I took it apart last night and it was caked with dust on the inside. It's got a little laptop sized fan in it that's gotten caked with dust. I blew all that out, put it back together. I don't know if anybody's had any trouble with it since, but it's been crashing a lot. Which that could be software too. You never know, because it is still getting security updates. Here's one for $44.99. Missing the cover. Oh, no sound. Missing cover.
No sound 9 times in 10 means that the speaker's gone bad. That's it. I can find another speaker.
Well, right here's that. Well, $44.99 plus $8.14 delivery. $8.14. What? Where are people coming up with these numbers? They must have literally weighed it and... It's kind of banged up too. Looks like there's no battery cover. Yep, missing cover. Yeah, that ain't
That's fine too. I can 3D print one of them.
That's true. Well, here. Those links are awful. And that's the clean link from the Firefox thing. When were these things out? In the 90s or?
Yeah. No, it was 90s. It was before the 2000s because I graduated high school in 99. So the original Game Boy would have been at least 96. No, had to be earlier. 94? When did the Game Boy come out? $1989. God.
I don't think that was the color one, though. That was the black and white LCD one.
Right. But that was the one that I originally played. The only reason I'm looking at a Game Boy Color is because they play original Game Boy games.
Here's one with a more...
Game Boy Color came out in 1998.
Here's one with a more girly color, $89.95.
I'm still looking at that one for 45 plus 8.
Yeah. That first one was the best condition, though, it looked like. Just a lot more money.
Yeah. Like, yeah, that one that you sent me that was 45 looks like it could use the new screen cover, and they don't show it actually turned on, which is always a concern. Oh, they do show it turned on.
Somebody's
Okay, so
been
the
chewing
screen's
on it
full.
on that one corner.
Hey,
Oh, there's been some commentary in the live stream.
I have a few tidbits of discoveries I've saved. Should I include those somewhere on the next show, even though it's primarily news, or save those for 2
Put them in.
weeks from
Check
now?
this out.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Will do.
And if it's a lot, you could split it up over the next couple shows if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, Majid and I were before we recorded Distro Hoppers. I was telling him about my sync thing setup because I had previously only been doing it between my phone and my NAS just for syncing stuff from it, notes and and stuff. Well, I finally got everything set up so that all of my computers are all syncing files back and forth between everything else. And he was saying that it'd be a good idea for maybe a thing on an episode of mintCast for one of the weekends I'm home. If anyone else thinks that would be something.
Yeah. You're always welcome. As far as I'm concerned.
I just wasn't sure because it's like home labby type stuff, but
think
kinda-
home labby type stuff bothers us?
That's about all we've got anymore.
I know, but I just wasn't sure if it was something it's like a niche of an interest, but it's something that I've learned the pitfalls and what not to do. And
What
I've
distros
gotten
did you
it-
guys cover?
We pretty much just did what we've been up to. Like I just went over what I've been doing the past year, and Majid did a lot of the stuff that he's been doing the past few months to a year. He talked a little bit about his Synology problems and some Fedora and Cache OS and some Arch. I think what was the other one he used? Manjaro, I think he used. And I talked about my experiences that I've had with Debian 13 and Zorin 17. I'm still waiting for Zorin Group to come out with the in-place upgrade for 18. Because right now the only way you can get 18 is if you do a clean install.
All right.
And what else was there I used? Fedora and can't remember, but we rambled on about a whole bunch of other stuff too. I'm not sure how much I'm going to cut it down. Craig said it was 100 or not 100. Craig said it was an hour and 32 minutes. So I think some of that was pre-show stuff before we actually started doing the podcast. So I don't know how much it's going to be cut down to.
Audio only, like it used to be.
That's one thing because of the time constraints that we both had because of the streams that we're on and all that, and Majid's other commitments and that. We didn't get to discuss all the reboot options for the show, but we could do like what we do with mintCast and the other podcasts is do a stream at least on Discord or something to YouTube. That's something we have to talk about too, because I haven't used what's that? OBS. I haven't used OBS yet, so I don't. I'm sure it's nothing that I can't do. It's just more of getting familiar with that.
OBS is
And,
another thing that takes a little bit to wrap your head around, but then once you do, it's like, okay, yeah, I can do.
I got my friend on it because he has another show that he does from his. He has a whole streaming radio station in his basement when he retired a few years ago, and he was using some proprietary thing that kept crashing and having some other issues, and I put him on OBS, and he's had some Windows only issues that didn't affect the Linux edition, but he's really happy with it. He's getting to he's a nerd just like us, so he's able to figure things out. But that was kind of a win because he didn't want to pay the $60 to renew the software. And this was like a couple years ago, and I told him about the OBS, and he's been happy with it ever since. And he likes the way it works, and he's been learning stuff that other shows are doing. But while I'm thinking of it with the Nextcloud, can you give Magid access to the distro hopper sorters?
I did. You guys were already recording when I got it done, but I got it done. I just put him in the group, so he's got access.
I just do things when I'm thinking of them because it'll disappear and then I'll think of it a couple days later.
Yeah, I got when he sent me the message asking. The wife and I went out for lunch, and I didn't really want to try and work it out on my phone because every time I go messing with stuff like that on my phone, I always screw something up because I'm not well acclimated to a phone interface. And I was talking with another friend about my iPad. It was kind of funny. It's one of these, head slapping moments. I had this iPad for like a year because I just wanted to try it out to see how it was because I wasn't really happy with the Android tablets. And long story short, like I said, I've had this thing for a year, and here I am sitting in my truck, laying in bed, and I wanted to update my servers, my Ubuntu servers. And I have a script. I just have to SSH in and type update and let it do its thing and then log out or reboot if necessary. And I'm looking at this tiny screen of my Pixel, even though it's like 6.5, 6.6, whatever size. And I'm sitting here watching YouTube on my 11-inch iPad. And I'm like, I wonder if there's any SSH clients on iPad. So now I do all of my administration stuff on my 11-inch iPad now. I SSH in. It's glorious. There's like SSH clients for Android that are there's a couple in F-Droid that I use, and they're okay. I use
Juice almost.
I have Juice on my phone.
What is the one I use? SSH Daemon, it's called.
Yeah, let me get my iPad real quick.
Real simple. But I don't... Actually, most of the time, if I'm going to run an update, I'll just open Termux. Because I'll WireGuard into the network and then open Termux, SSH the old-fashioned way, through the terminal, and then execute my script.
Yeah, if anyone has an iOS, iPadOS device, I've been trying TerMius. I guess it's Termius. But it's been pretty good. I just found the one that had not the highest, but that had the most reviews, and I like the description of it, and I've been pretty happy with it. It has a thing where you can sign in and sync between devices, but I just did a local account, and this for the people watching. That's what it looks like on the iPad, and it's kind of neat because if you look at my server list, it identified that's a Debian box, and then those are Ubuntu servers. So it actually it's kind of neat. Put a little icon next to it with the logo, but it's been working pretty good. It's much bigger than the screen on my Pixel. But yeah, because it actually almost makes me want to get a 13-inch iPad, but not for the $800 they want for them.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Expensive.
yeah, I paid this thing off a couple months ago because I just got tired of the $15-20 per month from Spectrum, and I also saved another $20 because because this thing has a SIM in it, I had to have service. So I had like the cheapest thing which was a gigabit plan, and it was like $20 a month, and you could use up to a gigabyte, and it was $20 for the device. So instead of having a $40 phone bill, I had an $80 phone bill. And I just finally, not that I couldn't pay it off, but it was just one of those things I just didn't think about. And finally I looked and I'm like, oh, there's $400 left. I'll just pay the silly thing off. I just won't go out to eat. I won't do this for a couple months. I don't care. I just want to get rid of the payment. But yeah, I was able to disable the cellular plan on it and the payment. But it's my second piece of fruit. Well, actually, my third, because I had an iBook about 23 years ago. But I had an iPod, one of the old classics, about, 10, 15 years ago. So I have a little bit of fruit now.
All right, fellas. Well, nice chatting with you. It's 4:00. I have to go, but I'll see you on the next show.
All right. You have a good night.
Bye-bye.
I do think it's about time for me to get going too. There's a hockey game on.
Yeah. And I've been drinking way too much water. So I'm going to have to follow Medjid's exit to the loo.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
Yep.
Thanks, everybody. We'll catch you in 2 weeks or on next week's show.